It's Sunday, October 6th, 2024.
Hey, Aqua Pals, Jeremy Wright here, and we're looking at a 20-gallon tall, just really standard planted aquarium. Um, what we're going to be doing today is sort of a combination of tank talk about this tank and a jump into a topic that's kind of fresh territory for a lot of people in the aquatic hobby because it's something that's just now gaining some traction. I actually, this came to the forefront of my attention today when I was looking down into this tank, and I've made some changes, so I'll describe some of that stuff. Basically, I pulled out 95% of the guppy grass that was in this 20-gallon tall, and it's like a new tank. So, that being that, what it is, I was looking down into the substrate layers, I should say, and I noticed for one, I'll tell you what I was doing. I just added some root tabs. I often tell people I don't use liquid fertilizers. For heavy root feeding plants, I definitely use some root tabs every once in a while. So, crypt, crypt, sword, crypt, another little crypt, other little crypts. This probably isn't the richest substrate. It's not bad. It's organic compost mixed with soil from my backyard, mixed with some sludge that was growing in the bottom of some tubs, some outdoor tubs. So like it's not bad, right? But it's been going for maybe like a year and a half. So I gave them some broken up root tabs. These are not large root feeding plants. They're kind of medium size. They're maybe large for like the if you were to buy one like that, it would see you would buy it as a large size plant, but it's not a big one yet. It will get bigger than that, and that's certainly not a large sword back there. Still a baby. Actually, that sword came into this tank because it was just not thriving in a convict tank, and so it came in here. Now it's got more light. It's been in there for maybe 2 months, just as a guess. Uh, so let's talk about the tank. It's it's got some black mollies. It's got some guppy Endler hybrids. It's got one goldfish who's probably going to be eating fry. You can tell it's just a much more active fish than the others most of the time. He's been he or she has been quite comfy in here since I adopted it a week ago. It was in another tank, and I moved it in here. It was actually in one of my frog tank videos just less than a week ago. So back to the tank. I was doing root tabs because I wanted these plants to just start thriving. They've got a lot more light now. Hopefully, they've established that one has hopefully established a root system. The others, I mean, they've been in here for longer than that. So, with the exception of this Ludwigia, and that's not a heavy root feeding plant, but whatever. I kind of stuffed the root tab down in between that cluster of plants, so the big one will find it. The others maybe they'll want some of that too. Um, there is a Vallisneria bit in here, and I'm gonna say it's like 2 or 3 months, so it's probably starting to throw runners. But I lost a bunch of the blades when I was pulling out the guppy grass. It came out with the stuff. So going back to we've kind of talked about the tank and what's going on in here. Once I did that, I was thinking about roots and mycelium. So now we're into like the meat of this conversation. And I noticed in looking down here, I can see neither. So looking around the tank, like I don't see any roots. I don't see any roots. I mean, it's not like a mature tank, so that's not really a problem. These plants aren't like old, but what I should say is the tank is mature. The plants aren't mature. Sorry for misspeaking. Um, and I guess we're going on to something years on this. Let's see. Maybe a year and a half. I think this tank's been running a year and a half. So that's just what's up. Time to put some root tabs in, right? So no mycelium. So then I asked AI about types of mycelium in planted aquariums, and my result was basically this is still kind of new territory, and it's sort of a use at your own risk thing. Well, I know that in other tanks of mine, I've seen like fungal mycelium, even slime molds. Actually, what tank did I see that last? I'm thinking. There was a tank that I started that I actually saw like a orangey yellow slime mold in, but I can't remember which aquarium it was. I probably don't have it anymore. This was probably years ago. But I'll keep thinking about that. However, just normal like fungus, like most people are aware, like a mushroom is like the fruiting body, the reproductive section of the fungus organism, which is mostly subterranean, and it looks a lot like plant roots, and it has a nice symbiotic exchange between plants, like if you were to talk about just a normal forest setting. So there's moisture, sugars, and minerals that are being exchanged between plants and fungi, the mycelial structures underground, and they're very beneficial. So I'm thinking like, I don't see any of that stuff down here. Maybe I could dope this soil with some mycelium and then gain that property if it's not already going. It doesn't look like it is to me. So I think I need more root plants and then actually introducing mycelium fungi into this. I'll be thinking about that and what types will be. Actually, I probably need to do some research. But if you happen to know anything about this, or someone who does, drop a comment. I'm going to begin doing some research, and I'll probably just start by asking Google Gemini, like, "Hey, let's start talking about species that might be appropriate for this," and then I'll start looking at where to possibly obtain a little bit, and how to start doing some testing. I also probably need to see if anybody is doing testing on this, and I'm sure somebody is. Like, it's not that weird of a topic. But I will say I've never heard anyone in our community talk about this. So, bouncing out. Thanks for watching.